Was it me? Was it you? Am I supposed to now go buy Chewy? What the fuck? so many, so many cryptic tweets. And should I buy a stock because I saw a picture? I don't know what to do. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, so don't base anything I say off these videos. I'm just doing it for pure entertainment purposes only. Anyway, I am. Sorry, I just got a text message. I'm going to give my opinion on Chewy, which is a very small opinion because I've done very little research. I know that it's a company for dog food, pets, shit like that. Now, I don't know much about the. I don't know. If GME, Ryan Cohen, has $4 billion and he thinks that he can make profit off buying a company like that, and, you know, he bought so much stock at BBBY, you know, other companies he's invested into, is it possible, you know, and he's doing the trading cards, is it possible that, you know, maybe he's buying these companies and he's going to make one giant website, maybe a retail location? I don't know. That's speculation, but it seems like it could be a possibility. But, you know, anything, it's all kind of a toss-up at this point. I will say this. After one picture, nothing was said, one picture of a cartoon puppy dog on Roaring Kitty's page, that thing shot up, obviously because someone had bought calls, you know, big calls in that play. It kind of coincides with what happened with GameStop. Now it's kind of doing a dip. I think if it is Roaring Kitty buying into it, I think that probably wasn't the only rip that's going to happen. So, you know, a lot of us are always like, oh, I'm late to the party. Well, right now, in my personal opinion, I'm not telling the buy, sell, or hold, but if I was going to jump into it, I would probably jump in today. I think it's down 10% or 9% from where it was yesterday. I bought a very small bit, not enough to change my life if it rips, but a little bit just to kind of test the waters. So I've got two platforms I bought a little bit on, not a lot. I'm telling you, about $30-$40 worth, I think. So that's all. Nothing for me to take a big risk. And like I said, you always never risk when you're willing to lose. I'm willing to put 20-30 bucks down. Actually, it was like $9 down. And you know, it's nothing. It's really nothing, but it's just to be a adventure, I guess. You know what I mean? But if something changes and it starts ripping, then it's okay. I'm gonna add to that position. If it goes tanks and it was nothing, it wasn't even Roaring Kitty or none of that, I lose 30 bucks. Okay, that sucks, but whatever. You know, it's 30 bucks. So that's just how I'm looking at it. I know that some of you are gonna be like, $30 is nothing to me. I wipe my buttocks with $30. Jeeves, give me my $30 bill to wipe my buttocks with, please. Oh, wait, I don't say please, you bastard Harry. So, anyways. Yeah. So, anyways, but back to GME, AMC, kind of doing the same thing, barcoding a little bit. I do anticipate, like I said yesterday, some sort of a pop or drop. I don't anticipate too many more days of sideways trading, but let's just say it trades sideways for another week. That's actually a good thing. When something's trading sideways, consolidating. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing. I would like to see it. But, you know, I think it's probably going to see a pop or a drop and then kind of level back out to these levels again. What it is, in my opinion, is just an algorithm. And it's an algorithm to shake people out, to bore the shit out of you. You know, watch other plays. Oh, look at this place squeezing, this place popping. Why don't we get out of this play and take our money and go over there? Everyone run. That's what I feel like. That's that, and you know, I could be wrong, but I do feel like that's, you know, part of the game, if you will. Now, there is opportunities in other plays, and I'm not saying not to jump in other plays or anything like that. So you do what you want to do with your money. I definitely have jumped in other plays. So, you know, where I see a money opportunity, I jump. So, I think, you know, really, realistically, that's what the stock market's for, right? To put your money in and hopefully grow and pull some profits out and help a company in the process. They can use that money in the meantime, and then when it's time to pay out and they've already become successful and we're all fucking rich and laughing and we've made money, and I've made $30. I made $30, everybody, woo! You know what I mean? I'm over here skipping away like I made $50. Is that Wayne's World? Got $500. That's how I feel sometimes. So that's probably why you shouldn't take financial advice from a guy like me. I wouldn't. But AMC, on the other hand, the thing about AMC is it's kind of tricky because you look into. I see how a person could be swayed, if they don't have as much resolve or conviction in a play like I do, because AMC, there's FUD that can work on a new investor, I believe. They're talking about debt, and they're talking about Adam Aron's evil, and they're talking about, all sorts of shit that I just don't believe. I don't, and I've never said Adam Aron's like my silverback hero, and I just think he's here to make me rich. I do think that he's there for the company, and whatever's good for the company is good for the retail stockholder, me. So, I don't necessarily think he's trying to make a squeeze. Now, I don't think he's necessarily trying to cap the squeeze. I think he's just trying to keep things level, keep the business going, and pull some of that money in to the business, which is, the same thing like what Ryan Cohen just did with GameStop, when they did the share offerings. So there's going to be things like that along the way. But the difference between this type of play, in my opinion, and another type of play is there's people like me all over the world, all over America, just in my small city. I mean, I'm in a small city in America. And I know a lot of people that are invested in AMC, GME as well. And maybe some will paper hand it, but I know at least a good dozen people that now have, buy and hold tactic. So you get that, and I'm, like I said, I'm one small smidget speck corner of the market here in this little area. So there's many towns, many cities, many people, millions of shareholders, and I believe that most of those buy orders are being suppressed, in my opinion. No factual evidence. So I really don't know how, I can't look. So if you're saying anything of importance, I apologize, but I'm driving here. I'm driving over here. Watch it. But that's just why I'm looking at it. Chewy, GME, AMC. Chewy is kind of one of those wild card ones where could it be? Maybe not. Is it a shill play? Maybe not. That's why I said I'm only putting a little bit in. Like I said, for me it was $30. So if I lose $30, losing any amount of money sucks. I'll say that. I've lost like $5, like a $5 bill before, when I had like hundreds of thousands in my account at some point, and I'm like, freaking out for my $5 bill. So I'm not saying it's like, yeah, $30 ain't shit to me, buddy, but at the same time, it's not really shit. Like, it could be worse. It could be worse, eh? I'm in line for my coffee now. Don't forget to tip your baristas. But yeah, so that's just my opinion. Like, I don't have a lot of deep DD or details to give you on Chewy. I just bought a little bit. It dipped today. It might dip more. It might dip all the way back down to nothingness. And, I'll be sitting there holding well, not really a bag. It's just this little to-go cup. I'm holding a to-go cup. It's all right. I can, whatever. But, if I start to see, oh, damn, he's talking more about this, and Roaring Kitty's got, blah, blah, blah. It might sound crazy to a lot of people that are like, you're following a dude that's got a kitty profile, and he goes on his live, and, dude, come on, talks like that. Yeah, okay. He's like, my kid's like Blippy. I'm watching Roaring Kitty, okay? I'm getting educated in the market here. God. Anyway. What type of coffee am I going to get? I'm so excited right now. Sorry, I can't get coffee. I spent it all on my Chewy. Who knows more about Chewy than I do? Because can you tell me, do they have debt? What's the fucking, what's going on here, man? I haven't even done any DD. Like, I did what I always tell people not to do. I FOMO'd the fuck in. And then not a lot. Like I said, I didn't put hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars. Just testing the water, you know, dipping my pinky toe in there to see how warm it is. And I don't know anything about it. You know, I could have just put my pinky toe in acid for all I know. My coffee real quick. Sorry, had to have a private conversation with my barista. I don't need no one judging me for what type of coffee I'm drinking. Pulling up Tupac and shit. I'll take Whipping Springs, please. between me and my barista, god dang it. Yeah, dang it all. Yeah. Do I know anything about the history of Iran? No. Question, what's going on here? Is this a trick question? Larry P says, Holden, what's up, buddy, man? I'm chilling. How you doing? Got some math questions. Someone says, yo, I'm giving them. I'm coming from Kansas, currently on the plane to New York, UK. What would your advice be for a Scottish dude to give a tour? Shit, man, I don't know. Get drunk. So Narrow 357, my tour advice is like, get drunk. Yeah, everyone likes that. Not everyone, but even if you don't like it, once you start drinking, you like it. Until you get too drunk. Don't get too drunk. That's all. Just get drunk. You'll be all right. But yeah, looking at the market, I mean, I really haven't seen anything that's like, oh my God, we're gonna fucking squeeze today. We're gonna be rich today. It's turned into a long, boring game, you know. And you got to find some entertainment in between time, and I believe that's what it's going to be. I believe that's if I'm on the other side, shorting this, and I have control over a price, and I can do this as long as I can do it. There, you know, morally, I would probably say, damn, this isn't right. But financially, my bank account, I'm looking at my kids and my wife and all their extra private schools and pedicures and facials and whatever the fuck they do. You know, I'm thinking like, okay, well, shit, I gotta maintain this as long as I can. The problem is like on the other side, they can do shit illegally without being worried about going to jail. You know, shit like that. Like if me and you were just to go, steal someone's money and run away, we're going to fucking jail. You know what I mean? It's just not, I don't know. I don't understand the concept, but it's kind of, you know, the market shines a light on, I guess, really a lot of what's wrong with our current system, you know, and people just morally are just always going to be, there's always going to be someone trying to figure out a loophole, even if it's legal, like how to get your money. Like, I'm going to take your money legally, you know, like, I don't know. And I guess if it's legal, it's legal, you know, they're going to tell you, oh, you should just learn more and educate yourself, you know, and that's what we're doing. We're out here fucking educating ourselves on the market instead of, you know, talking about football and boobs and shit. Now I'm over here talking about stock market shit, watching presidential debates. When did I become my dad? What the fuck? That's what I want to know. I remember my dad talking about presidential debates and, you know, the value of $1, and I'm just like, oh, can we go to McDonald's, please? That's just, you know, if I could time travel back, I would just go back to be a little lad, go to McDonald's with my papa. But instead, I got to worry about fucking money. Sorry for all the outbursts, man. I'm kind of tripping. Yeah, he said, Donkey Kong said they got that get out of jail free card. That's some bullshit. That's what's crazy, man, is I know dudes that have gone to jail for selling weed. Weed! You know, in here for some weed? You ever smoked? Never mind. Bob Saget. He did a little AMC thing too. Anyways, that's what's crazy to me. You know, like, I wouldn't condone selling drugs, obviously, but there's states where it's legal. And, you know, a dude got convicted a couple weeks before they legalized it. You know what I'm saying? For selling a couple little bags here and there, doing 10 years in prison. Meanwhile, someone on the big end like this is stealing millions of dollars and billions of dollars from people on a daily basis and gets fined. You know what I'm saying? That, I think, to be honest, if you're a fund or someone on that side, it would really just be what would I say? A business fee, really, is how they look at it, I think. Sorry, I keep getting messages. There's a parade. I live in a small enough town where there's parades, random ass parades. I'm like, what? I don't know. Someone's asking me if there's a parade today. Sorry. sidetracked very easily. But yeah, I almost feel like it's just a small business fee at this point. They're paying a, and that's how they look at it. They don't look at it as a criminal activity. They look at it as a business fee. Like, oh yeah, so we can take $1 billion and pay a $5 million fee for it, instead of saying, oh, we just stole $5 billion. Now we gotta go to jail for the rest of our fucking lives. That jail scares people. I've been to jail. That shit was scary, man. I don't like that shit. You straighten up. Some people don't. Some people aren't scared. Some people just, and then that would separate them. You find out who the straight up hardened ones are, and who the ones who are going to straighten up their act and do good business. So, and then the ones who don't want to straighten up are going to wind up doing more time. So that's how it works. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. It's just for them, I feel like it's more of a cost of doing business rather than a fear of, criminal records or jail time and stuff like that. Because it is kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, oh, hey, we found out you fucked up your books over $400 million last year. We're going to fine you $5 million. Holy shit, I just can't imagine, like, me owning a business if I'm like, I forgot to pay my taxes of $4 million. Motherfucker, you're going to jail. Like, I don't have that get out of jail free card. And that's what, that's I think that's the issue with the system, and a lot of people, how they look at it, and why a lot of people are so upset all the time. And I understand it. I try not to get myself worked up over shit like this. I try to just keep myself level-headed, like, hey man, there's nothing I can do about it. But that's the type of mentality that's gotten us where we're at. Everyone's like, oh, there's nothing I can do about it. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. Well, what the fuck are we gonna do then? Just sit there and take it? That's like saying, I don't know, man. I think you catch a drift. Someone's asking me about Nvidia and GME. Nvidia is one of those ones where, I sold right before the split, but I had a very nice average at that point. Nvidia is kind of a tricky one for me because I do think it has room for growth. I just don't know how fast the growth is. I had kind of planned on buying back in when it got around 100. Will it go back down that far? I don't know. But for now, I am not back in Nvidia, so it's hard for me to say. I haven't really done any more looking onto it, digging into it. I made a nice little chunk profit and ran with it. Will it, maybe it'll kick me in the ass in a couple years, and it's like everyone's like, Nvidia is $20,000 a share, and I'm like, oh god, should have stayed. But for now, no looking back. What's done is done. If it drops down to a point where I think it's a good buy again, I'll buy back in. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Nvidia. And I would never tell you to buy, sell, or hold. You make your own choice on it. It is, it's proven that it's growing. It's not. It didn't dip as much as I thought it would after the split. So that's probably a good sign if you're holding it, I would say. GME is this GME. It's GME and AMC. They're very similar. They run. There's excitement for a while, then they just go dead for a while, and then the rest of us are sitting here talking to each other and twiddling our thumbs and making memes and fucking watching everyone on YouTube just to see what's breaking news. There's no fucking breaking news. The only thing I personally got to know is my personal DD. I believe that there's synthetics. I believe that there's manipulation. I think there's dark pool manipulation. I think there's conflict of interest in hedge funds and market makers. I think that people are not selling. I think people are buying and holding in hopes of a moon ticket. And I think so much pressure is being built on it that one of these days it's just going to pop. I don't think it'll ever pop to 100,000 like a lot of people used to say in the day, and I don't know if people still say that, but I think it probably could if they let it. I think that would just crash the whole fucking world economy, but I don't think that'll happen. For me, it's just buy and hold. That's what I'm doing. I'm buying and holding. I wouldn't tell anyone else what to do with their money because, it's your money. You got to figure out what's best for you. But at this point, I'm buying, I'm holding. I see no reason to panic, sell, or hurry and load up and buy tons and tons. I'm just steady, consistently buying for 3.5 fucking years. I've gotten to the point where I remember in the beginning, people were like, I got 10,000 shares. I'm like, God damn, I got 10 shares, you know? And now I'm reaching that point where it's like, okay, I'm almost got 2K shares, you know, 3K shares, 4K shares. You know, you keep adding and adding, you know, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 30 a day, whatever you can afford, you know. I'm not ever more than I'm willing to lose. Like just right now, I went and got my wife a coffee. I used to go get us both a coffee. Now I don't get one. I just drink hers on the way. Save a few bucks, and you know, hey man, I put 10 bucks in AMC, bought 2 shares, and then I put 10 bucks in GameStop. So, you know, if I do that on a daily basis, 10, 20 bucks a day doesn't really affect my lifestyle, you know. If you start going 500, 600 a day and it's like, oh my God, I'm broke. Oh my God, honey, I can't afford the truck payment. And then you start having a problem. So more than you're willing to lose. If you can't afford to do $10 a day, then don't. If you can afford to do $1,000 a day and it doesn't affect your lifestyle, then you do what you want to do. For me, that's just how it works. Yeah, we could definitely see a late pop today. I mean, just the way the chart's set up, you know, and like I've said before, technical analysis on this thing is kind of goofy because you'll look at it and say, oh man, look at the volume, it's fucking insane. The news is insane. The chart's looking bullish, you know, and you go to bed thinking, oh my God, tomorrow we're going to be fucking rich. I'm telling my wife, I'm telling my friends, bitch, I ain't paying this, you know, I'll pay you tomorrow, I'm going to be rich. Dad, don't worry, next week I got all the bills. You know, I'm going to be a millionaire next week, and then all of a sudden it drops 30%. And it's like, what the fuck? How does that even make sense? Doesn't. So, then that's kind of why it also builds more conviction into me, because I'm like, man, if they're willing to go this far and short this much and put this much money, and you can go back and look how much and see how much they've, you know, bought to short and et cetera, et cetera. You know, you got ways to look at those things, and I don't know when it was, but there was a day where the volume on AMC was more. We traded more in one day. I think it was around that time when Roaring Kitty came out and everyone was freaking out. AMC traded more shares in one day than they have available to trade. There's shit like that goes on that it's like, what? You know, and that's for a couple days straight, just tons and tons of shares. And you're telling me that all those were sell orders? Nah. And then just all the old heads like me, the old OG apes, whatever you want to call us, that have been sitting here holding and buying for 3.5 years. There's been times where I've had chunks of money where I've bought, you know, big shares. And I know people personally that have way more money than me that bought in and are holding and are just fucking, to me, like insane amounts in one day. Like it's taken me this many years to get where I'm at, and they bought like triple that in a day and then just went to lunch like nothing, you know, like I'll just hold this and see what happens. So, you know, it is what it is. Here's where we're at, and what are we gonna do? You know, we're gonna, I guess that's the question. What are we gonna do? I don't know. I'm not the one to tell you. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to pass some time until I get filthy fucking rich. Yeah. And if that's off AMC, great. If it's off me inventing a fucking endless grape, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but I know at some point I'm gonna get rich as fuck. That's just what it's supposed to be. So a lot of nonsense I'm talking, but you know, truth of the matter is, I think most of you have done your DD. Most of you that are on this channel probably know if there's any new apes, newbies, whatever. Do your own research, do your own DD. Take what people say with a grain of salt. You can listen to what people say and run with it. Do your own DD off of what they say, but don't take everyone's word, you know, for golden. Like that's it, that's for sure. You know, I did that in the beginning. I would listen to people and think, oh my God, this weekend's it. You know, sorry family, I can't go camping because on Monday we're gonna be rich, and then Monday it tanks, and it's like, oh my God, we were on the threshold of this. I don't know what happened. You know, there's been many YouTubers that have come and gone. You know, Reddit boards, they're buzzing and crazy when there's FOMO and hype behind it. But when it's kind of like days like this, you know, I think the true apes, true retail investors or real investors, in my opinion, are going to continue to buy, hold, and that's where it's at. There's always going to be FOMO, people trying to jump in, but they're not going to be able to match the knowledge you've got on this and the amount of shares you've stacked or whatever the case is, you know, I can FOMO into like Chewy right now, like, oh my God, you know, buy a bunch of shares, but there's probably someone back in the background that bought it, you know, 40% cheaper and stacked up shares for the last however long, and when it pops, they're gonna be fucking like, woohoo, I'm rich. And then there's gonna be the rest of us like, I made $500, baby, feeling good, you know. So this is how the stock market works. Some people make a lot of money, some people lose a lot of money, some people make a few bucks, some people lose a few bucks. So it's just, it is what it is. OG the Star Killer BBBY news. What? Yeah, I don't have any BBBY no more. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything on it. Chewy too expensive. Yeah, Chewy's up there right now. DT, what's up, man? OG the Star Killer. AMC doesn't. DT says AMC is not going to squeeze until early next year when earnings are strong. I agree, and I would never, you know, especially being on YouTube, I got to be careful with what I say. I wouldn't say for sure there's gonna be a squeeze at any time at that point, but I will say fundamentally we are going to be much stronger in AMC into this year, beginning of next year. And you know, even if something happens and they can push it back down the road half a year, you know, I'm just looking at the movie theaters. I'm looking at the way things have gone back almost to normal. You know, I drive by the movie theater every day. It's packed. Yeah, AMC is going to run with GME merger news. I believe that too. I believe AMC will run. It'll have its runs randomly. Will it mow ass? Who knows? Any day it could happen. But I think there's always going to be ups and downs. You know, there was a 200% up. GME ran up 200% a while back, and then people were trying to tell me like it's nothing. That's what's wild to me. It's like, I say it's nothing when it runs up 200%, and they're like, what a sham. Well, you could get out at 200% and be rich. You know what I mean? So, yeah, win GME merger, exactly. Win Chewy merger. Oh shoot. Yeah. So there's a lot of things to look at. You know. Will Chewy and GME merge? I don't know. Could it? Wouldn't it be funny if you know they had nothing to do with that? Yeah, it's always tomorrow, or next week, right? Probably next week. That's the problem. Is we, you know, that's also can be discouraging. You know, because you know your research, you know your DD, you know that things have been going on in the background or whatever that you feel like you know, I should say, and then they kick the can down the road. So then the rest of us are sitting here looking at like, well, what the fuck? How did that even happen? You know, how's that? That's not legal, and it is. It's in my opinion, things are shadier going on, and like we talked about earlier, if you're not afraid to go to jail, and taking someone's money is just a fee, you know, it's not morally correct, but they can get away with it. Like I know people that stop doing crime because they're afraid to go to jail. You know what I mean? And the people that didn't stop doing crime, that weren't afraid to go to jail, well, they wind up just doing like life. You know what I mean? They just stay there. So, I don't know, man. That's just, you know, speculation and guessing what could happen. But I do believe that, you know, if you look at, you know, if I could make $5 million a day and have to pay like a $1 million fee, and that was it, I'm not going to get no record. I'm not in nothing else. It's just a fee. Then I mean they're going to do that. It doesn't make sense, you know. It's crazy. If I were to go now into just someone's home and they had $5 million in cash and I just took it, I'm not going to be able to just pay a fee to the government and just walk free. No, they're going to take the money back. They're going to send my ass to jail for life. You know what I mean? So it's a fear factor. If you're not afraid and you don't have no fear of going to jail or any repercussion or even probation or you know, paying the $5 million back plus $1 million, you know. That's what happens. If you don't have a fear of it, if you don't have a fear of it, lads, they're gonna keep doing it. Let me drop back, mother lovers. You know what? I've realized over the last year, I like girly coffees, and there. I'm just gonna go out confess it on live. I like girly coffees, okay? Fuck. It's a blended fucking caramel macchiato, some shit. And I'll go ahead and say it. It's got almond milk in it, okay? It does. I know some of you were probably warned against people like me that liked almond milk. But you know what? I can't be starting my day off with the shits. You can't. You gotta just be nice and strong, ready to go. Can't be having a weak stomach. Can't be having it. All right, so hopefully that doesn't affect the stock market price. He's lactose intolerant. Everyone get out. Anyway, yeah, just jumping back in. I've got to run in and meet up with someone here. Gonna look at this other business here that we are, speaking of mergers, GME ain't the only one doing a merger. I'm doing a very small merger. So I gotta look at this building, see if I'm probably gonna move buildings, rent my building out, a little extra income, and move into a more updated building that I like better, and go from there. So I'm backing in here. All this little strip areas, like I said, you know, it's owned by us, and so I've got to go handle my business. But yeah, there is a parade. People are lining up for a parade out here, you know. I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to happen. I'm already here for a parade. I didn't even know I was here for a parade. Shit. Anyway, I am gonna go talk to these people real quick about this building, see when they want to move in, so I can start moving out, start my merger. But until then, like I said, I'm buying and holding. Nothing's changed for me. I'm just gonna, you know, try to entertain myself through the bullshit and see if I can make it through. So, man, I really hope that everyone on this page finds the success we're looking for. I really do, man, because it's right there, man. It's like right there. So it's just my opinion, though. I'm not a financial advisor. Anyways, man, hopefully y'all have a good one. I'll come back with another live today. I'm going to go over some charts and do a little more. This is just me bullshitting. So have a good day. Be blessed, and let's get rich soon. Peace.